Hi, this is Group Three's group project. It's a Web 2.0 technology evaluation form. Group 3 consists of Denish, Aram, and myself, Andrew. We first started this evaluation form with a rubric for the SAMR model, which splits up a lesson into one of the four categories of the SAMR model: substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. Since we felt that a lot of activities kind of fall black and white into one category or the other, we didn't want to just make a 4-point rubric. So we kind of made this flow chart that allowed a teacher to, regardless of which level they fell under, to have a differentiated number of points based off of nice things that they were doing at each level. So for example, the first one, this activity could just as easily been facilitated without the use of computer-based technologies, right? If this is true, then that's the most basic level of substitution. The evaluator would stop here and the teacher would receive 1 point for that activity. Whereas if this was false and they couldn't really do the activity with paper, pen, and a chalkboard and stuff like that, then they would move on to the next, and the teacher would get 2 points. And the evaluator basically goes through the flowchart and sees how far the teacher could get, and eventually they can get a total of possibly 12 points. Next, the next framework we included was the community of inquiry. The community of inquiry is broken down into 3 domains: social, cognitive, and teacher presence. So within each of these, the teacher could receive up to 5 points for exceeding expectations, and that is based off of indicators that show, specific indicators that show that categories within that particular domain was met. Since there's 3 different domains and they can get a total of 5 points in each, the evaluator can give the teacher's activity a total of 15 points. And then finally, we included a general criteria table, which here you'll find most of the things that you'd see in any typical educational teacher evaluation framework. Like for example, we have student participation, interactivity, differentiation, so lots of things that you'd see in any type of teacher evaluation form, and a short description of that. Student participation: students can work together to reach a common goal, giving them a sense of how problem solving will be performed in collaboration. And here they can get a total of 2 points, or a minimum of 0, for each of these categories, which leads to a total of possibly 20 points. And then finally, we have a summary table that allows the evaluator to summarize everything of the previous 3 tables. Here they would just circle which base level of the SAMR model did the person reach, and then here they could put their SAMR criteria score from that first table. The next one, they would put the score from the community of inquiry table, and then finally they'd put the score from the general criteria table, and then they could total all 3 of those up and put that total here. So if you did want to use this to give a teacher some type of objective score, you have the ability to do that with this evaluation form. But we didn't want it to just be about the score, so we also left space for the evaluator to leave feedback. So the first table, as you see, the evaluator would highlight some main strengths of the activity, but then also have an opportunity to give some areas of improvement. For example, how could the teacher, let's say that the teacher stopped here at a 5 at augmentation, how could they bump that to a 6? Or if a teacher was at augmentation, how could they bump it to modification? That type of thing could go here. And then lastly, a spot for any other comments, any other thing necessary for the evaluation. So yeah, that sums up our evaluation form. Please let us know what you think.